Jai Hind students, welcome back to my IT tutorials, and today I'm going to discuss about the first chapter or session of Unit 2 of your IT 402 books. And here basically we'll talk about what stress management is. So chapter name is Stress Management and its Techniques. This is session 1 of Unit 2. Unit 1 had the 5 again session, and we covered all the session from the session 1 to session 5. And I hope you must be looking the each session videos and making the notes out of it. Now the next session, that is a Unit 2 session 1, Stress Management and its Technique, itself is one of the again crucial or important chapter, because everyone having less or more stress. Stress. Everywhere there is a stress. If I'm saying so, I'm very right. And you all must be agree with me. Anything which disturb your emotional or simply again disturb your emotional feeling is a stress, and less or more everyone is affected by this. No one in this world, even a small infant and elderly gentleman, all having less or more stress once they are there in this world. A small infant, till they are in the womb of the mom, he or she hasn't got any stress. The moment they came out or they are on this earth, less or more stress is bound to be. So today we'll talk about what stress is and the different technique that we are using to release the stress, to avoid the stress. And the first is introduction, objectives, then the factors that contribute to the stress, we'll see that. Then the meaning of stress management, what do you mean by it, importance of the stress management, that we'll see, and the stress management technique, there are certain techniques that we'll use to reduce it. And as I mentioned, stress, if you talk about the stress, then anything that lead to the unbalance, emotional unbalance, or that disturb your emotion is a stress. For example, your father sorted on you. Your mom hasn't liked something that you did at home. Your teacher hasn't appreciated something that you did in school. This all will create, or this all will create stress in you. We must keep one thing in mind: without stress no one can survive, but too much stress again is very bad for any individual. So like we have exam, being as an student, being as a teacher, we have certain tasks to perform, and during that time of course I have a stress, but that stress is a positive again stress for me, and once I'll accomplish it, once I will complete that task, definitely it will act or it will work like a moral boosting for me. So there was a stress at a particular moment on me once I had the very rigid again like a routine, and continuously I was studying to achieve a good mark in a particular exam. That was the stress, but this stress gives you some fruitful result. That's why it's considered to be the positive one. The stress can be of different nature. It's a positive one also, negative one also. Now positive one is for a certain again period of time, for a small again span, comes and goes. But the long-term stress, if it is, then definitely it will spoil any individual or human being. That's why we have to see how to remove it, how to recover it. So what is a stress? A stress is an emotional unbalance, or simply again distractions in your emotions, or sometimes you can say simply extra burden that you takes on in a negative way can be considered as a stress. If you are taking that burden as a positive way, then though it is a stress, but it's a positive stress. So kindly don't be stressed. And the agent which create the stress is called stressors. So always try to avoid the agent stressors. I said stressors. Stressors are the agent which create a stress for you. So avoid the stressors, right? So this is what the stress introduction is. Now, the factors that contribute to the stress. There are many factors which basically again encrypt the stress in you. And one is the threats. Now, once you are saying threat, if you have any threatening again, or threats in the front of you, as someone is threatening you, that definitely will create a stress, or that definitely will be a stress for you. So once a threat is there of any nature, it will be in the form of then a stress. Outcome of that threat will be a stress. Dangerous situation. Certain situation which is very dangerous in the front of you, it will again encrypt the stress in your mind. Then irrational demands, mind it, there is a rational, there is irrational demand. Someone is asking something which is not possible, which is not right. That's called irrational demands. For example, 8 hours working is fine, but at the moment I was supposed to leave my office, someone is asking me to work 2 more hours and saying so you cannot go without completion of this task. Now, this is irrational demands, because rationally I should work only 8 hours. So once there is irrational demands in the front of you and someone is demanding, this will again encrypt the stress in your mind. Peer pressure, that is one of the great again factors that contribute to the stress. Peer pressure, mind it. Peer, your friends, your colleagues with whom you're working, you're coming to school, you're sitting together, sometime will be also again considered as one of the factor for this stress. So never have a peer pressure. Try to shut out whatever the pressure of peer you have. Instantly, immediately don't carry it. If your peer is asking something again wrong, if peer is asking something that you don't want, then try to again utilize the same moment. Be an active, prompt, and reply that no, this is not possible, no, you are wrong, and I'll never do. And that way you can reduce this stress. Otherwise, peer pressure considered to be a great pressure for the young mind. And then we have a unrealistic goal expectations. Sometimes our parents want you should be doctor, you should be engineer, and you don't want. This is again one of the unrealistic goal expectations. Or sometime I have my own again goal set it by me which is not real. Then again it will create or it will create the stress in your mind, generate the stress in your mind, and so unrealistic goal expectations, you should not have. Bad experiences. Bad experiences once you have of anything, either the past or the present, that will definitely again will be a factor for your stress. So never have the bad experiences of your carried forward. Try to neutralize it instantly, or forget about that. Things gone, let it to be. Now the financial loss, that's considered to be a great for the financial institution, for the person who is a businessman, for your father, but it's for the elderly gentleman, not for the young one. So any financial loss ones are having, it will definitely create a stress for me. And then we have a discrimination, that is also considered one of the great factor for the stress. Once someone is saying, you cannot sit here because this is meant for him, this is for that car, this is not for you. So any kind of discrimination that again taking place, mind it, discrimination can be in any form. He is elder than you, he will only occupy that seat. or he is a senior than you. There's all discriminations once it is. That definitely will be one of the factors for your stress. So kindly try to avoid this all, or once these are there with you, how to cope up with that you have to understand. Now, meaning of the stress management is basically the technique that we use to cope up with any sort of stress. That is what a stress management technique is. So mind it, stress management means how to cope up with any particular kind of stress that are having. Long-term stress can definitely make you sick. You will be sick. You will be not physically fit, you will be not conditioned to work, and sometime you may say it will be such a situation in front of you that cannot be now sorted out. Don't let any stress to continue with you for a long. If there is something, if you have a solution, find out. If you haven't, then try to again talk with like a counselor, psychologist, which can guide you, help you to cope up with that. Then only you can live, then only you can perform, then only you can enjoy, otherwise life will be hell. So stress management are the techniques, different techniques that we use to cope up with a particular kind of stress. And there are different again kind of stress management technique that we'll discuss. Now, importance of the stress management is very again required. Why it is required? If I'll be not able to manage the stress that I'm having, I'll be not enough capable to perform. Once I'll be not enough capable to perform, definitely it will again generate the many things in me. I'll be sick physically, not again, maybe my mind will not start working, it will start rusting, and there may be many impact of that will be there. Let's see what importance of the stress management is. The first again stress management is allows a person to react positively in a stressful situation. That is what the importance of stress management is. Even you are in a stress situation, but you should act and respond positively. That is what the importance of stress management is. If I haven't the management skills to manage stress, then I always will be negative, and impact of the negativity will be always negative. Keep that in mind. It provides ways to measure the different kinds of stress that a person can resort to self-help or seek help from others. The stress management technique also help us to know this stress I can cope up myself, or I have need of a counselor, I have need of a psychologist. That will also again is one of the importance of the stress management technique. The third is it helps to identify the distinct again stressors. It also helps us to identify the distinct stressors. As I have told you already, stressors are the agent which create a stress, which work like an agent for a stress. That is called stressors. So you will be able to distinguish the different kind of stressors, so that it will help you to cope up with it. Then positive, like the positive it could be. Then the dangerous stressors or irrelevant stressors. Sometimes I'm just worrying because something happened to my neighbor. Maybe not relevant to me. Sometimes it may be a dangerous stressors which will spoil you. And sometimes it is a positive stressors, like you have a pressure of examination, and you must take this management. Or importance of stress management is to let you know the three different kind of stress: positive or irrelevant, or sometimes the dangerous one. That also will come to know the, or will differentiate it, what kind of stressors they are. And once you will recognize it successfully, you may be able to sort it out, or you may be able to cope up with. So these are the importance of stress management. Stress management helps us to act and react always positive in every kind of stress. That is one of it. Stress management also help us to know this is a self management or I have to take the help of other. This is also the second again thing. Stress management also help us to distinguish the different kind of stressors, the agents, either positive it is or negative it is or irrelevant it is or more dangerous it is. That also you can, and once you'll be able to recognize it, you may get some solution to remove that stress. Now, last point is a stress management technique. We are using the different stress management technique to remove or to avoid or to simply cope up the different kind of stress. Let's see, this all techniques is very again well known to you all. Physical exercise considered to be the one of the best technique to remove the stress, to avoid the stress, to cope up with the stress. Always have a physical exercise. To be fit, healthy, your mind will be healthy. You will be very physically fit, and once your mind and body is strong, definitely you will be enough capable to face any kind of challenges. That's why this physical exercise considered to be the one of the stress management technique we have. Yoga, as you all know, and the benefits of yoga. Must have a yoga if you can do half an hour morning and half an hour evening, or even in the morning. It will relax you. It will again avoid the stress. It will reduce the stress that you have in your mind. Spiritually, it is making you more again balanced, or your soul will be refined. You will not start worrying with a silly thing. That is what your yoga can. Meditation also again, this considered to be the one of the oldest technique that we have to reduce the stress. So always have a physical exercises, yoga, meditation. Then the vacation with the friends and family is considered to be the one of the best, easiest technique to reduce the stress. Have some time again outing or vacation with your friends or family. That will relax you, that will reduce the stress of yours. But mind it, don't carry the stress that you had once you are on vacation. Simply forget about anything. Enjoy that vacation. Enjoy your family again vacation. And then taking nature walks. Sometime have a nature walk. See the nature and see how the God created this nature and how important the natures are for me or us. See the birds, see the sky, see the trees, see the greenery all around, and just walk, keep on walking. That itself will be one of the great again stress management techniques. So I hope these all 5 techniques, the physical exercise, yoga, meditations and vacations, outing and the taking nature walk, if we are doing out of this even few of the techniques we can follow, we can just again have it to reduce the stress and kind of stresses you have. So what we learned here, what stress is a emotional disturbance that created by due to some reason within us is called a stress, and everyone is less or more stressed. No one or stress can affect every age people, either it is infant or a youth or a old gentleman. All generally get affected. All age groups people are get affected by stress. And then we have seen the factors that contribute to the stress. Stressors are the agent that act like an agent for creating a stress minded. We always should be again far from the stressors, the agent which can create. And then we have a different again factors, as you have seen, some threats in the any form, danger situation in the front of us, then irrational demands of someone, peer pressure, unrealistic goal, expectation if you have bad experiences of yours, financial loss or discriminations. These all considered to be the factors for stress. Then management, stress management is the technique, different technique that we use to reduce the stress, to cope up with the stress is called a stress management technique. And importance of stress management I have mentioned, कि this stress management is technique is very important for us. Reason, it help us to act and react in every kind of stress positively, first and foremost. Then we'll also come to know what kind of stress it is. I'll be able to sort it out, or I have to take the help of auto agency, or maybe a doctor, psychologist, or maybe a counselor. That also you will come to know. Third, you will also come to know the different kind of stressors that isn't positive, dangerous, or maybe irrelevant kind of stresses. And that's why it is called very important stress management technique. And then different techniques that we can apply and to reduce the stress, like a physical exercises, yoga, meditations, vacation with the friends, family, and taking nature walk. So always have at least exercise 1 hour or half an hour in the morning and evening. I hope there is no chance of any stress. If you are devotionally, if you are dedicatedly, if you are completely again doing that only at that time. But if you are doing exercises and you have a certain burden, and that burden is also coming between, then there is no meaning of it. So do the yoga, forget about the other world, lost yourself, complete again, lost yourself in that. Just think you and that yoga is there that time, nothing else. And that way if you start doing, I hope there will be no stress. And today's young generation are more stressful than others because it's gadgets and our lifestyle, our food habits. This all is creating a stress for us. So it's my humble request, never have a stress, and if there is any, try to find out the remedy, try to find out the solution, and immediately try to recover it or try to cope from that. Otherwise, it will be a great burden for you all. Thank you all. Subscribe the video so that you will come to know about my next video, and kindly start making the notes out of it. And if there will be any query, there will be any difficulties, kindly let me know through the WhatsApp message or through the comments. Thank you all.